Across the ancient lands north of the peninsula of Yucatán, in the region known as Puc, the city of Uxmal stands out for its harmony and extraordinary beauty. To the west of the soothsayer, we are amazed by the monumental size of the courtyard of the nuns, an area defined by 4 buildings which form a central square courtyard. This design, which characterizes most of the constructions in Uxmal, is linked to the concept that its architects had of the space in which the 4 directions of the universe exist. The interior facade of the western building of the courtyard of the nuns particularly stands out for the richness of its design, especially in the masks of the god Chak, situated above the openings on the walls. In between the openings, some panels open in which different elements such as fret and latticework, feathered panels, and anthropomorphous and zoomorphic figures are combined. The harmony of the complex, as well as the placement of each detail, remind us of the ability of its builders who skillfully incorporated other symbols, such as feathered serpents, that first intertwine and later disappear to emerge again towards the surface. We are now in the interior facade of the eastern building, where the superimposed masks of Chak, located at the corners, contrast with the 2-headed serpents, which are symmetrically arranged over the perfect weave which the latticework forms along the length of the frieze. There are 8 2-headed serpents in each trapezoid, growing and heading towards the sky, one after the other. The magnificent decoration of the northern building, consisting of 2 levels, appears, and in the center, the monumental staircase which rises to the platform. In the southern building, a typical Maya corbel vault opens out. It is the access doorway to the courtyard and to the other buildings. We can see representations of a house with a palm roof crowned with a mask of the god Chak, placed over each opening in the wall. The symmetry in the design, the intelligent handling of the weighty and impressive dimensions of their buildings, and the precise treatment of the details is a unique characterization of the Puk-style cities, which have served as a model for the creations here and there by architects in our own 20th century. This style, known as Puk, is present in most of the buildings of the ancient 1,000-year-old city of Uxmal. On the highest construction of the site, our attention is drawn to the Chenes temple, with Chak's open mouth and with the intertwined serpents in its upper section. Here in the soothsayer, the priests of all times adored Chak. According to the Chilambalam of Chumayel, as time went by, Hopai Kan, the golden serpent of the new cult, arrived many years later. In this place, from where one has a complete panoramic view of the site, the priest or eternal soothsayer used to preside over religious ceremonies. In spite of a severe lack of water, Uxmal must have been the city of abundance, the city of the 3 harvests and the chucked ear of corn. It rises amid the valleys where the silk cotton tree, the bumbax, the tropical American timber tree, the golden spoon, and the trimmed twigs grow isolated and alone. Here, at the foot of the hills, live deer, wild boars, armadillos, pheasants, and rabbits. The huge structure of the soothsayer, with its elliptic base, that according to the legend was built in a single night, with the help of the oppressive vision of a dwarf who, instigated by his mother, ended up by defeating the lord who lived in the palace of the governor, is an indisputable example of the long settlement on the site. Nearby, at the same level, the palace of the governor is built upon a high platform that can be entered through a staircase. Here is the main facade. The typical Maya house with a palm roof was removed from its entry, and in its place, the plumed serpents brought by the Shu, conquerors of the site, were placed. The decorated frieze accumulates a profusion of fretworks that rise and fall, and also images of Chak, which end up by coinciding with those located at the corners of the central complex. No doubt, the palace of the governor, at which center the figure of a lord can still be observed, is the most extraordinary example of Maya art in the Puk region, as it combines in its decoration latticework facades, fretwork, dices, and masks, thus attaining a beautiful and well-balanced composition, which can only be imagined in terms of the initial preparation of the pieces, which together ended up by forming a great mosaic that did not allow for even the slightest mistake in its pattern. In the same complex, the Great Pyramid contains a central staircase that reaches up to the Temple of the Mac House. So called because of the luminous aspect of its magnificent roof bridge that rests upon the central wall of the building and which is part of a complex located in a square plaza. The Pigeon House also has a monumental entrance. It was used as a residence for rulers, priests and artists who in their time had the privilege to live in a city such as this. From a panoramic view, we can appreciate the presence of the ballgame court. Even though it is small, if we compare it with the one in Chicén Itzá, it still preserves the basic distinctive features that gave it the necessary functionality to carry out at the exact time the ritual which was nearest to simulating a battle, the final unfolding events that followed the course of the sun, the ritual of the ball game. Due to the simplicity of its decoration and the construction of its solid walls and wall openings, the building of the turtles, amphibious creatures associated with earth and water, is a synthesis of a balance that characterized the early Puch style between the years 800 and 900 after Christ. Here we have the cemetery, where a special place was reserved for the symbols of death. And close by, the Temple of the Phallus, a clear reference to fertility and life, associated with the presence of water and the verdure of all the surroundings. The phallus served as channels to conduct water, the source of life, to the desired place. From the house of the old woman, where the grandmother of the dwarf lived for the last time, we can appreciate the majesty of the monumental panoramic view of Uxmal, which we can imagine inhabited and filled with the noise of those who must have been its extraordinary residents. The Arch of Labna is part of a complex which included a beautifully enclosed plaza. It is not only a piece of work that integrates the classic components of Puc architecture, but in addition, the serpent, the Maya hut with a thatched roof, and the masks of the god Chak are also majestically present. A 4-meter-high roof ridge distinguishes the building known as the Watchtower. In the photograph left by 19th century explorers, we can clearly observe the remains of its decoration. A sakbe, or causeway, connects this building with the Great Palace. Although the true magnitude of the site remains unknown, thanks to the dimensions of the buildings that form the ceremonial compound, in which the rooms reached a considerable number, it can be concluded that Labna was, in its time, one of the most important cities in the extensive valley of the Puc region. In spite of the fact that the structure of the Great Palace shows evidence of severe damage, it still preserves its classic characteristics. There is clear evidence nearby that in the outskirts, the residents used chultunes to collect rainwater, indispensable for their survival. Labna leaves in the mind of the traveler an unforgettable impression. Because in this place, the sensibility of artists and craftsmen is combined with the majestic design of its architects, who built, perhaps without even realizing it, a special type of arch that could very well have been the gateway to heaven. We see only a small example of what was once the city of the ancient walls, Xlapac. The number of chultunes found in the surrounding area reveals there was a large population in this city and suggests the degree of success reached in the practice of domestication of agricultural products. Upon the friezes, we over and over again see figures of Chak, placed there to call upon the benevolent rain. Bordering amidst the low vegetation, the delicate complex appears with its front furnished with small columns, which intertwine, thus achieving surprising results. Further away, the roof ridges of the Baroque observatory of Sayil, the ancient city of the Ant, another 1,000-year-old city in the center of the Puc region. The discreet presence of beauty that ends up by captivating us is present here, in the midst of destruction, when the majestic structure of the palace appears before our eyes. with its central staircase that leads to the second floor, in which frieze we can admire the figure of the descending god among the iguana lizards. And present once again, the god of the Mayas, protected by the symbols of Venus. Three-day flint, or three cutting suns. Oshkintok welcomes us from its building known as Tzat Tun Tzat, to which the people many years ago gave the name of the labyrinth, or the place where one gets lost. Adventurers and explorers in the 19th century arrived in the place where supposedly a cave existed. Tied to the end of a rope, they went in search of the unknown, discovering on the way long passages with small rooms on each side. Up until now, Tzat Tun Tzat has refused to reveal the intended purpose for which it was built. In this city, which was occupied for a long time, extending at least from the year 300 before Christ to the year 1250 after Christ, we can observe a numerous group of architectural complexes supplied with staircases and buildings where the typical Maya corbel vault was used. Already, Stephens tells us about the decayed buildings covered by vegetation. We can see that the building pop has a rectangular shape and consists of 4 rooms. And here is the Great Pyramid of the Maya group. The visible architectural elements reveal to us a clear influence from the area of El Petén. This structure is the highest in Oxquintoc. The location of the chamber makes it possible for us to see that this building consists of 8 longitudinal rooms and a transversal one. In one of the lintels, an inscription was discovered bearing the date 475 after Christ. In front of the remains of what once was a special enclosure, we find a group of Maya dignitaries in an eternal position of surveillance. Because of these figures, the first explorers named the building Devil's Palace. Structures in the Puk style were added to this construction, whereby the rounded corners are typical of the architecture of El Petén, this being part of the Akamul group. This circular structure, which forms a spiral, suggests the existence of an observatory which the Mayas must have used to spy on the sun, Venus, and the stars. The Puk Palace in the Uxmal group corresponds to the late classic period. It is an example of the continuity of Oshkintok. The ballgame court is a clear evidence of the development reached by the site during its splendor. Three days flint, or three cutting suns, Oshkintok. Kaba was built upon a series of limestone hills. Joined by Asakbe to the city of Uxmal, Kaba was a central area measuring over 1 square kilometer, in which exquisitely worked plazas and buildings are located. From one surprise to another, following the route of the Puk, we now ascend in order to see the facade of the Kots Pop with its clear Chinese influence. There are some who assert that the rolled-up mats were used in order to climb and reach the rooms above. Looking at the facade that has surprised the world with its mosaic of pieces beautifully worked according to the classic Puk technique, we must imagine that the Mayas built here a great causeway which would help them get closer to the sky during the night. The monumental arch of Kaba, placed on a low raised platform, serves as a mirror through which to look into what once was an enormous city that reached its splendor between the years 600 and 900 after Christ, and which obtained, perhaps for its monuments and its number of inhabitants, an importance similar to that of Uxmal. Uxmal. It is easy to imagine what Uxmal must have been at the peak of its splendor. Fully populated and filled with the noise and movement of its extraordinary people, it must have been a wonderful sight. Uxmal, home to governing lords, priests and artists, who had in their time the privilege to live in a city such as this. The city of abundance, of the three harvests, and of the chalked ear of corn, rises among the valleys with its extraordinary beauty. The city of Uxmal. Today, we can reach the imposing city of Uxmal, just like the 19th century explorers did in their time. And once there, imagine what this city must have been like during its splendor, right in the midst of the Puk region, where a considerable number of cities flourished. And know that for them, their daily life was filled with omens, surrounded by the difficult circumstances bequeathed to the Mayas by a nature inexorably ruled by the will of the gods. And then realize how dramatic the silence that their absence has hopelessly left us can be.